On 3 teams, nearly all the football players skipped the national anthem altogether. Dozens of others, from London to Los Angeles, knelt or locked arms on the sidelines, joined by several team owners in a league normally friendly to President Trump. Some of the sport's biggest stars joined the kind of demonstration they have steadfastly avoided. It was an unusual, sweeping wave of protest and defiance on the sidelines of the country's most popular game, generated by Mr. Trump's stream of calls to fire players who have declined to stand for the national anthem in order to raise awareness of police brutality and racial injustice. What had been a modest round of anthem demonstrations this season led by a handful of African American players mushroomed and morphed into a nationwide, diverse rebuke to Mr. Trump, with even some of his staunchest supporters in the NFL, including several owners, joining in or condemning Mr. Trump for divisiveness. Julius Thomas, a Miami Dolphins tight end who had previously stood for the anthem, knelt for it on Sunday with several players. To have the president trying to intimidate people, I wanted to send a message that I don't condone that, Thomas said, echoing the opinion of most NFL players. I'm not okay with somebody trying to prevent someone from standing up for what they think is important. But the acts of defiance received a far more mixed reception from fans, both in the stadiums and on social media, suggesting that what were promoted as acts of unity might have exacerbated a divide and dragged yet another of the country's institutions into the turbulent cross-currents of race and politics. At Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, videos posted on social media showed some Eagles fans yelling at anti-Trump protesters holding placards. At MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, NJ. Before the Jets played the Dolphins, many fans, a majority of them white, said they did not support the anthem protests but also did not agree with the president's view that players should be fired because of them. I'm a Republican who voted for him, but I think this is a battle he doesn't need to get into, said Greg Zakaria, 61, from White Plains, who said he had been a Jets season ticket holder since 1978. Yet he objected to the anthem protests, saying, I understand what they're trying to get at, I just think there are better ways of expressing yourself. Mr. Trump, in a speech on Friday and a weekend-long series of tweets, had all but baited athletes and the league to respond by saying that those who do not stand for the anthem should be fired. He added that the league was in decline for tolerating the protests and for taking steps to reduce brain damage among players. As the sideline demonstrations unfolded on Sunday, Mr. Trump wrote on Twitter, "Great solidarity for our national anthem and for our country. Standing with locked arms is good, kneeling is not acceptable. Bad ratings." And before boarding Air Force One in the evening, Mr. Trump told reporters that his comments had nothing to do with race or anything else, this has to do with respect for our country and respect for our flag. Still, players and team officials said they had made the gestures, including locking arms, in solidarity with players who had demonstrated during the anthem, not to support Mr. Trump. There was a variety of protests on the sidelines Sunday. All but one player from the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the league's most celebrated teams, refused to go out for the anthem. The lone exception was Alejandro Villanueva, a veteran of the war in Afghanistan. The Steelers, who were playing the Bears, were booed heavily by fans in Chicago when they ran onto the field after the anthem. The Steelers, along with the Tennessee Titans and the Seattle Seahawks, who were playing each other and similarly skipped the anthem, broke a league rule requiring athletes to be present for the anthem, though a league executive said they would not be penalized. "We will not stand for the injustice that has plagued people of color in this country," Seahawks players said in a statement before the game. "Out of love for our country and in honor of the sacrifices made on our behalf, we unite to oppose those that would deny our most basic freedoms." Even stars who normally shy from controversy took a stand. Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers posted a photograph of himself kneeling with 3 of his teammates during warm-ups before the game, and New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady, a supporter of the president, liked Rodgers's photo. Later, before the Patriots game against the Houston Texans in Foxborough, Massachusetts, Brady locked arms with a teammate on the field and placed his hand over his heart during the anthem. Rodgers stood during the anthem, but 3 of his teammates sat on the bench. A dozen or so Patriots knelt during the anthem, prompting some fans at Gillette Stadium to boo. Still, one of the more